What's up, everyone? Jaren Ugbanawag here, and I hope you guys had the chance to enjoy your Halloween weekend. I know I did. You can see that I'm still celebrating it. I know I've been gone for a little bit of a minute, but we are here in November, and we are here to talk about the Banshees of INISHERIN. This movie is written and directed by Martin McDonagh, and it stars Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Kerry Condon, and Barry Cogan, as we follow the story of two lifelong friends who find themselves at an impasse, and one of them decides to end their long-term relationship, leading to consequences for both parties. The plot of this movie is so simplistic that it could have been rewritten for kids. It could have been rewritten for teenagers. Instead, it works as a period piece, it works as a comedy, or even a drama for adults. And not seeing the trailer before heading to the screening for this movie, I had no idea what to expect, other than the fact that writer-director Martin McDonagh doesn't ever keep his plots simple. This movie was shudderingly funny, surprisingly dark, and hell of Irish. I might have to watch the movie again with subtitles for good measure. I also love the way that they cursed. There's just something about the accents that really bounce off the tongue, especially when one of the characters, they would use the word fuck and they would really say feck, like y'all so feckin' boring, or are you feckin' kidding me? I can't fucking do the accent for shit. The first hour of the film had a lot of sharp humor that had me rolling in laughter. Colin Farrell would constantly be fishing for Brendan Gleeson's attention or for his conversation, while Gleeson did the absolute opposite and tried his best to ignore and avoid him at all costs. Where the story got dark, and no spoilers, but there was a hypothetical, an ultimatum, if you will, that got tossed around as a joke in conversation. But once the bluff gets put to the test, consequences and just genuine tension just erupt between our two leads. Taking place during the time of the Civil War, you can feel the dreary atmosphere off the shores of INISHERIN, and I wish we had a little bit more than just the distant boom of explosions happening from afar, but we have a lot of beautiful landscape shots, and sometimes you would have no score masking the long and silent walks of our characters throughout the island. What makes the performances in the Banshees of INISHERIN a treat is the complete opposite relationship that Colin Farrell had with Brendan Gleeson in Bruges. And that also goes for Colin Farrell and Barry Cogan in The Killing of a Sacred Deer. All these characters have all their emotional needs, they just clash. And even when there are no words that are spoken, their blank expressions, their silence, their body language says a lot. Also, Kerry Condon, who plays Farrell's sister, has delivered an outstanding supporting role for this amongst the men, and she definitely deserves to be recognized at the upcoming Oscar Awards season. She definitely deserves it. I also wanted to talk about a few things that I took away from this movie on a more personal level. Number one, a small island talks. Living on an island like Maui are a few examples of how word gets around fast. Whether you've done something good or something bad, it can be overwhelming to get the same type of questions from your community over and over again. Just like in the movie, on the island, a lot of people just constantly exhume and question Farrell and Gleeson's character about their fallout in their relationship, and it really starts to weigh on their well-beings. And the question to our characters every single day when they wake up, how do we move on from here? How do we evolve? How do we get past this? Number two, kindness versus silence. Both elements contradict one another in both positive and negative reinforcements. In the past, I have taken out my anger and sorrow, including my friends, and have completely ghosted them. They would reach out and ask me what is wrong, and I would ignore their calls, their messages, and even ignore them in person through passing, without so much as closure or even a reason as to why. I've done this to my friends Nohea, Aaron, Jamie, and many others, to where I didn't realize, and it hurts so much to think about it, that my silence went hand in hand with my pride. I can admit that I've been a real Brendan Gleeson from time to time, and it isn't very nice. Then there's even this scene in the movie where Brendan Gleeson shows Colin Farrell an act of kindness, and as much as Colin Farrell wanted to show some kind of gratitude and break the ultimatum, he couldn't. And I felt so choked up and brokenhearted over it. And it really made me think about my friendships in the past and how I've treated them. Last but not least, number 3, Love to Hate You. Without getting into spoilers, the results of our main character's actions towards one another are not good. The things that we say or do to the ones we love out of spite can easily be regrettable. Holding on to malice when a relationship ends is toxic behavior and damaging to our mental health. If we don't learn to pick ourselves up after every tragedy, we would never get off the hamster wheel of fear. Amongst the other films I've seen of Martin McDonagh's, In Bruges, Seven Psychopaths, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and The Banshees of Inisherin, I would say out of the 4 that Banshees lands on my 4th favorite. A Simple Story doesn't always deliver its overall best, but I love the performance in this movie as well as the camera work. Alright guys, that's all I got to say about that movie. Go ahead and check it out if it's playing at your local theater. Also, big thank you to the Hawaii Film Critics Society for putting our group together to finally go and see a movie as a group in person. That was awesome. Alright, I'm Jaren Ogbanawa. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Look forward to more reviews, and I will see you guys at the movies. Take care. You don't take a part of me.